Hope you're having a great day, everyone. My name is Lissandro, also Chano on Twitter. I'm doing something right now, which is like basically what I'm doing is I'm starting a blank slate here just to show you guys how I trade. The reason why I'm sharing this is because I want to share my experience and document my journey as a trader. To give you guys a brief context, I am 27 years old. I've been trading for about six years now. So I started 6, 7 years. I started when I was 20, technically 21. When I was 22 years old, I turned $1,000 account, 1,500 into 100 grand, and then I blew that into 3 grand, and then I turned that into 250,000. I blew that, and then every so often I'd make 30 grand, 20 grand, nothing crazy, right? I would blow it up because I didn't proper risk management, and that's my focus right now going into my trading. I started with options, and now not moving. I've been trading futures for about 2 years now. I've seen some success, but it's still the same thing for me. And what I want to do, not to get into too much of what happens, pretty much I've made a lot of mistakes, and right now I'm doing my best to correct them. And I've gained a lot of knowledge from somebody who pretty much messed me up, and financially. So I want to share what he's taught me. I want to do it for free initially, and then if people want to donate down the road, or if people want to take classes or whatever, we'll see how this evolves as we go along. But for now, it's just giving this content out for free and showing what I know, because I know that there's a lot of people on Twitter that basically talk shit and they're not walking the walk, and maybe this will help me out. Who knows? So I trade a very simple system. I also use a bunch of other charts to get confluence within the markets, or similarity, or basically telling me or giving me an idea of how the market's going to play out. It's not guaranteed. There are days where the system doesn't work, as everyone or most people know. But I use a very simple system, and you don't want to have too much on your charts. You want to keep it as clean as possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over today. And this will be the first of many videos, right? So let's go to the point where the market's about to open, and then we'll start. This chart platform is NinjaTrader, and I like NinjaTrader a lot, especially for futures. I'm not sure if you can trade stocks on it. You probably could. By the way, I've not used this system on stock trading. This is futures trading, so just giving you guys clarity on that. And let's begin. So, the person that taught me this basically said you want to gather as little data as possible to execute better, which is true. So what I do every day before the market opens is I want to know the high and low of pre-market and the high and low of the previous day, and then I want to know where in Fibonacci retracement where the 50% is. So what we're going to do is mark this out. So take the drawing tool on NinjaTrader and go to a horizontal line. Your horizontal lines are not going to be like this. They'll probably look like, and I'm going to open this right here. I'm going to reset this real quick for everybody. They're probably going to look like straight lines. It doesn't matter what the lines look like or what colors work. Like even now, my candlesticks are blue and dark blue. This is just from my psychology. You can play with it however you want, right? There's no thing that's gonna tell you like if I do this, it's gonna work. Like no, it doesn't fucking matter. All right, so basically, we're gonna take the horizontal line right here, and we're gonna put it on the high. Take a horizontal line and put it low, and that's the pre-market high and low, and we want to take the previous day's high and low. So we're going to take these two, and now it looks like there's too many lines, right? Because it's like I don't know how to differentiate. So this is where we're going to take this horizontal line. I call this a current day. I mark it red. And then my dog's coming to my room. So there we go. We have that. All right. And now I want to get the Fibonacci retracements, or how I like to call it, midpoints of each one. So you go to the Fibonacci retracement tool. And we mark it out. Now, your Fibonacci's are not going to look like this. In fact, they're going to probably look like this. There's too much data. I want to be as simple as possible. Because too much data is going to mess you up, and you're not going to be able to perform well. So we take this midpoint. And now we're going to take the previous day's midpoint. And now it's starting to look like there's too much on the screen, right? So, we only need the 50% of the previous day. Because at the end of the day, we still don't know where the market's going to go. Now, what do you see on the charts? Oh, and one more thing. This pink line right here, I have this as pink because it's just easier on my eyes. But you can mess with this by clicking on the candlesticks and go to trading hours break line and change that. This is how you also change the down bars and the up bars. I also forgot to point out the time frame that I use is the 15-minute. It's up here. I just like the 15-minute. For me, there's more value in it. And that's just how I trade, right? So, going back to what I said earlier, this is what we call opening price or zero price. And all opening price or zero price is basically the price between closing and the open of today. And there is a slight gap. So what we're going to do is we're going to highlight this. So now what do you see? Do you see anything interesting? Well, for me, I see that we rejected previous day's midpoint to the tick. And if not, a little bit off. Just a smidge. We also see that we're fighting is zero price. Market tends to test zero price pretty likely. And now, how are we going to do this? How are we going to write everything up? The person that taught me this before basically said this. He said that you want to gather evidence within the charts. And evidence doesn't have to be just these lines. Evidence can be the candlesticks. Evidence can be different charts. I can give you an example. Let me pull this up. This is probably going to do the current day. This is just stuff I was messing with earlier. Whatever helps you figure this out, that's MQ. Whatever helps you figure this out, that's what you want to use, right? So for me, I like to have different charts for confluence, but for now, let's just start with this. So, we are below yesterday's midpoint. We're below yesterday's high. We're below today's pre-market high. We are below today's midpoint. And we're below zero price. So what is that telling me? Well, that tells me that there is a likelihood that the market wants to go down. But in order to see a clear confirmation that we're going to go lower, we need to break this low. And we've tested it twice now. So let's see how this day plays out. Okay. Okay. And there you go. Was there any way you could have taken profits on this? Was there any way you could have taken trades on this? Well, yeah, you could have, honestly. You could have taken a trade right here. You could have taken a trade right here. The market was going down. Now, the market came back up and closed above the previous day's low. So, it doesn't necessarily mean that longs are in play, but it does say that the markets are not going back down, pretty much. That's pretty much how I trade. So, I hope you guys found this useful. This is my first recording, so I'm going to evolve this as time goes on. There's some other stuff I'm working on as well. I'm going to share a bunch of other stuff with you guys. I hope you guys have a great day, and let's get to it.